You're with Rexall Radio Health Matters on AM 900 CHML. I'm Jamie West. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. It's great to have you here. You can drop me a line, jwest@900chml.com, if you've got a topic you'd like us to cover on the program, something that you've heard on the program you've got a question about, jwest@900chml.com. Well, you've probably heard the spots running on CHML about hemochromatosis. Until recently, we're willing to bet you had no idea, I certainly didn't, that having too much iron in the blood was even bad for you. Well, it turns out it is. Bob Rogers is the Executive Director of the Canadian Hemochromatosis Society. Bob, I dare you to say that 10 times fast.
Well, at least you're saying it will, and that's the first part of the knowledge of this disorder.
I'm very fascinated by this. Let's start with the obvious question. What is hemochromatosis?
Hemochromatosis is an overload of iron in the body. What happens is it's a genetic condition, most prevalent in the ethnicity that deals with Celtic populations and Northern and Eastern European ethnicities. And what happens is the genetics of this causes, right from birth, for the body to absorb too much iron from the food that we eat. And that gets into, the body can't hold it in the blood, so it deposits it in the organs of the body and in the joints of the body. And over time that builds up, and by the time it starts making any problem, it's men in their late 30s and women postmenopausal. And what happens is that starts to break down the efficiency of the organs, causing serious disease. People suffer from those diseases and then die prematurely.
Wow, that's quite alarming. And when it comes to talking about iron in the body, we tend to think about not having enough of it. That seems to be getting all the play is the iron deficiency issues.
Well, iron is a very toxic, it's necessary for the body, but it's very toxic when it overloads.
Sure.
And it's not good if you don't have enough. So balance, moderation in everything is good. But for people who have this genetic condition, they overload, and this causes severe problems.
How common is this, Bob?
1 in 300 people in the general population in Canada have 2 copies of the genes, and that gives them the prevalence to overload in iron. 1 in 9 in the general population carry one of the mutated genes, and if they had a child with another person who had 1 copy, then their children would be at risk for this disorder.
What are the symptoms?
Well, the symptoms start with joint pain, arthritis, a bronzing or graying of the skin color, abdominal pain and distension, menstrual irregularities or premature menopause in women, loss of libido, sex drive or impotence, loss of body hair, chronic fatigue. All of these are somewhat general and apply to a lot of disorders. However, in the case of iron, once it builds up in the organs, you get mood swings and personality changes such as depression or anger, irregular heartbeats, arrhythmia, or a lack of good muscle contraction, which is a cardiomyopathy, diabetes type 2, elevated liver enzymes, which can lead to liver cirrhosis and cancer, and things of that kind. And when it gets into the joints, you're going to get that severe arthritis that we talked about, particularly in the first 2 knuckles of the hand and the thumb. There would be an enlargement around that area.
So that becomes a telltale sign. Now let's talk about testing for this. Would this not be uncovered when we go and have our annual checkup and we get that? We always get those blood tests done. Is it not commonly tested through that?
No, Jamie, it's not. What's tested when you go for your normal annual checkup is your hemoglobin. What needs to be done is an iron profile test, which looks at serum ferritin and the transferrin saturation percentage.
Okay.
When these 2 are done, we're able to find out whether a person is overloading, and then if that's the case, there is a genetic test, all covered under OHIP, that would determine whether the person has the genetic disorder.
But we would need to request that from our doctor. We would need to say, hey, I want you to put this on the requisition, right?
Absolutely, and the reason why a doctor might do that is because you present with some of the symptoms,
Sure.
or that you have a family history of people who have suffered and prematurely passed away or suffered from some of these disorders. Because if we find one person in a family who has this disorder, the entire family, first relatives, need to be checked.
Is it treatable, and if it is, how do we treat it?
It's a wonderful treatment, actually. Some people would call it a medieval treatment. You give blood.
Bloodletting.
You
Is that what
donate
it is?
blood.
Okay, you donate blood.
And the blood takes the iron out of the body, and the body has to use the stored iron to make new red blood cells. And the blood that's drawn off in the maintenance period of the disorder, that's after a person's been de-ironed, that can be used in the blood supply if there's no other reason why they can't give, and that can go ahead and save 3 more lives.
Is this, you said medieval. I mean, back in the medieval times, they used to do what was called bloodletting. You'd go to a facility. It used to be barbers and so on and so forth. And you go there and you get your hair cut and you get bloodletting. It was believed to, rid you of all sorts of ailments and make you feel better. It was a health procedure. Is that where this goes back to?
That's exactly what's
Wow.
done, only it's not done at the barber anymore. You would, CBS, that's the Canadian Blood Services, once you're in maintenance, will take your donation every 56 days. If you need it more frequent than that, there are hospitals and clinics in your area, in the Hamilton area, and throughout southern Ontario, where you can get this all done.
This is amazing. Take me back to the beginning of our conversation again, and who primarily gets this hemochromatosis, at what age, males, females, ages, that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, men, again, it starts from birth, but the way that symptoms start to occur in men is in their mid-30s,
Okay.
mid to late 30s, and all those symptoms that we talked about. Women, because they menstruate and have children, lose blood normally, so their counts will be much lower until they hit menopause. And then, of course, they don't lose the blood anymore, and that causes the iron buildup.
So how can people get more information on this? What a great insight you've given us today, but I know everybody likes to go on the web and that kind of thing and look at things in more detail.
Great. Our website is toomuchiron.ca, T-O-O, muchiron.ca. And it's an excellent website with lots of information there. And then if people want to follow up after that, they can email us, and that email address is on our website, or they can call 1-877-BAD-IRON.
All right. I'm not going to ask to be involved in any bloodletting the next time I go and get my hair cut, but I will go on the website and learn even more. This has been very fascinating, Bob Rogers. We appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jamie, and thanks for bringing this to the attention of your listeners.
All the best.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Bob Rogers, Executive Director of the Canadian Hemochromatosis Society. Back with more Rexall Radio Health Matters on AM 900 CHML.